Hi everyone, it's Ingrid, and I wanted to start, part of the YouTube was to start a prayer group or a prayer channel, as well as my tarot and the forecast. There's still a heaviness in this world, and I just want to be of service. So if you want a prayer, put it down in the comment sections. I'll start doing a list and we will start praying. I believe very strongly in the power of prayers. I believe that prayers are the avenues and the key, really, to allowing miracles to enter our lives. So I wanted to do that. During 2020, I wrote this book, Whispered Prayers, Awaken Your Divinity Through the Power of Your Voice. And during that time period, I had lost some beautiful family members of mine, and I call them all the elder women of my family. And it really got me to thinking about the fact that a lot of them were not able to tell their stories because they grew up in an environment where only the men were allowed to speak. But one thing I remember vividly about my family, especially the elder women, is that they had this incredible power within them to speak what matters. And what they did oftentimes, in my memory, especially those in the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic, they would sit in their gardens, their farm gardens, and they would pray. But the prayers were so inaudible to me as a child. I didn't know what they were doing or anything like that, but you could feel the power. You could feel the energy around them when they were praying. And they would always whisper their prayers. And there was something incredibly powerful about whispering prayers that it got me to thinking, how can I honor my ancestors? How can I honor these women that never spoke? And initially my inclination was to write some of the stories that I know of them through my eyes, right? The injustice of the men not letting them speak, of the men controlling the land, etc. And what came through to me was no. Speak to how they spoke to you and the land. And I was like, oh wow, yes, it's the power of whispering prayers. And this is not, I since found out, a novel to my family. Whispering prayers is a very powerful tool that you can find within many cultures. So I wanted to honor that when I was writing this book. But the other wonderful thing about this book, this is the hardcover book. It is out of print. You might find maybe 1 or 2 copies still online. There would be the soft covers. I do plan on relaunching this at some point in my life. The publishing of this book was arduous and not at all what the process that I wanted. So I will be publishing it again with a different type of energy, but nevertheless, this was very impactful and powerful for me to write this book. So one of the things that came through when I was writing this book is that there's a process. There's a process to praying. And in order for us to be very connected to the power of whispering your prayers, there's sort of like a step-by-step engagement. So, and as you saw, there's like spiritual codes, etc. So what I wanted to do with this channel is to read my book to you and to go through it step by step, and then also give you anecdotes of what I was feeling, what I was going through when I was writing these prayers during that pandemic. And so, I think I'll just read this one since I opened to it, and it's called Love. But I want to do this, and let's see where it goes in terms of praying also for specific petitions or specific requests that you may have. All right, I think we'll do that, and I'd love for you to actually participate and join me in this engagement. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll just read this one since I opened it. And this one's entitled Love. And this one goes, so they're divided into different stages. So this is the spiritual authority. After you've gone through several stages of the prayer work, you get to the space of authority. You get to the space of knowing what really matters and what really is worth praying for. This one was love was worth praying for, right? So I'll just begin. It was a glorious dream of unity. It was a glorious mandate that I learn how to love. To love me through you and to love another as you. Who taught you how to love so profoundly? Was it I in another life? That bridge of a measured model of love that formed the itinerary of our course together was altered so that I would avoid the pitfalls of danger. I was stroked with love so I could clear my paths of its obstacles. You gave me first the example, and then you gave me a new perception. To love as you have loved me. In this new union between us, I take you as my integrated whole and know that you and I together will be strong in joy. Had you not come alive in me, this communion would have crumbled like an artificial construction. You now live within every structure of my being, reinforcing our connectedness. Your presence in my life is unshakable now, and peace shields us whenever something or someone seeks to disturb us. Stay here with me, alive within every heartbeat of mine. You alone can build that wall between us and my ego. So please lift me beyond my vanity and pride. Continue to free me from my own inhibitions with your love. Keep far away from my door the envy that hides and destroys our unity. Calm my aggressive impulses with your love. Purify the stream between us with your love. Guide me with your love. Give me the grace of your eternal love, and let there be a strong belt between us so that we may continue to be understood as unified under one Mother Earth. Only then will I be able to achieve what they prophesied in that glorious little dream. And that's the prayer of love. So I can tell you that when I was writing this, first of all, whenever in this book, and I'll discuss this at some point, whenever I refer to you, I am referring to our own higher self. So I am speaking to myself. I'm speaking to my higher self when I speak of you. So part of the prayer and part of engaging prayer is to understand that we are all souls, and that our souls are wise ones within us. And so the point of prayers and the point of my saying you here is to connect with our inner knowing and our higher power within ourselves. So it gives it a different meaning when I say things like, it was a glorious mandate that I learn how to love me through you, and to love another as you. So it's to love as my soul would love. It's to love another as my real soul spirit would. So it can be a little heavy. It can be a little heavy how I wrote some of these, but they're certainly not meant to be these quick prayers that we just say. It really is meant to take us deeper into a spiritual engagement, a sacred engagement within ourselves, and have a very deep connection within ourselves. writing this was towards the end, as I said, of the book, and it's the spiritual authority. And I started to think, why do we have these obstacles in our way? What is that? And how did they get released? Because oftentimes we experience something heavy in our lives. We experience challenges. I'm going through some right now with my own mom who is sick. And we experience this, and at the end of the day, we're like, oh, how do I get this obstacle out of my way? How do I clear it? And at the end of the day, there's only one power that can do that, and that's love. That's why I wrote, I was stroked with love, so I would clear my path of its obstacles. So oftentimes our inability to connect with love is exactly what creates the obstacles in our paths. So I hope you enjoyed that. My goal here is to be somewhat interactive. I don't know if I will do lives. I think I will at some point, just like I will with the oracle readings. I think I do want to at some point do live sessions. I don't know when or how I would present that on the YouTube channel, but I do in the meantime welcome comments, or if you want me to pray for someone, we can do that. And so I want to just have that open to you as an option of a way that we can be of service to each other, because I do want to continue to pray. Oftentimes, and I'll just share with everyone here, my mom is going through her process of hospice care, and it's very challenging. And there's not much I can do, but I do believe in miracles, and every time I pray for her and for us and the family, I feel her strength. And that's all we need to do. That's all we can do sometimes. So why don't we just begin? We can begin right now, and we can pray for everyone who has been afflicted by cancer. And we ask the divine to grace their auric field with the pink rays of love, the blue rays of protection and power, the golden rays of wisdom, the green waves of heartfelt healing. We send these rays of blessed divine light to everyone we know afflicted by any illness. May they be lifted up into the space and in the realm of knowing that they are souls. Souls that are perfect in mind, body, and spirit. I bless the space between us. I thank you. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do with this channel. And I'm going to continue to use whispered prayers and just teach for free what I learned in writing this book and in teaching everyone about the power of prayer. All right, until next time, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe, a like if you enjoyed this, and hit the notification bell. It helps me, and it helps get the word out of this channel to viewers who don't know who I am. It's all algorithms, people. It's all algorithms. But I do want to be of service, and maybe you guys can help me do that by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. And don't forget to write your comments for next time. Thank you.